Right, hello everyone and welcome to this new video on my channel. So today we've got a match preview for the game on Thursday night between Harrogate Town versus Doncaster Rovers. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So just before we get started, if I could ask a huge favour from you all, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button on the road to 2,000 subs and like the video as well. Let's aim for 30 likes on this video. Any support is greatly appreciated and really helps the channel grow. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get into my match preview. So as per usual, when I'm not going to a game, I'll do a match preview instead. So I was originally planning on going to this, especially when it was a Saturday. It's usually a really good away day. I've done the previous 2 seasons. It's a really good one on the train. You go into town, there's loads to do in town. There's a spoons, it's like a castle and all sorts. And but it's one of them where there's not a lot around the ground itself. There's not even a concourse in the ground. You can't have a drink. There's a pub about 15-minute walk away, but other than that, nothing close to the ground. So if you're going on coach or driving, it's a bit of a nightmare. But like I say, we're planning for Saturday, but then, of course, Sky Sports Plus changed it to a Thursday night at 8 o'clock because it is a blockbuster event that the whole world wants to see on the telly. So yeah, the plan were to drive it, but there's like nowhere close to park. And if you've followed me on social media, you know that my car broke down on the way back from Everton and was stranded on the M62 for 6.5 hours. So, yeah, I'm currently carless and quite a bit of money down, and I've already planned to go to Middlesbrough on the Saturday. So, everything into consideration, I decided to give this one a miss, which I'm gutted about, but hey-ho, there's not a lot you can do about it. So let's start with the league table then, and both teams have currently played 5 games. Harrogate currently find themselves in 20th place at 24 teams on 4 points after 1 win, 1 draw and 3 defeats so far this season. And as for us, Doncaster Rovers, we are at the other end of the table. As high as you can go, we are currently top of League 2 after 5 games with 4 wins and a single defeat. So Harrogate Town's last result was a 1-0 away defeat at Cheltenham Town, which means we've now lost 2 in a row in the league and 3 in a row in all competitions. They started off okay, to be fair. They had 1 win, 1 draw and a loss, but lately the form has seemed to, dip a bit. And to be fair, we had a bit of a thumping, a 5-0 home defeat to Preston North End in the Cup, which is probably not the confidence a bit, but they are 2 divisions above them. So yeah, it's it's always going to be a hard one back, but yeah, they've dropped off a bit compared to last year. They had a very, very good season last year, the highest ever finish, finishing in 13th place. And when we played them, they were, they beat us 3-1 last season at Harrogate, and around January, and they were kind of a bit of an outsider, shout for the playoffs. They were kind of flirting with the playoffs quite a bit, but they dropped off in form a bit, between then and the end of the season, and ended up finishing in 13th, which is not bad at all. I mean, you finish with the likes of Notts County and several other big teams, and I'm sure if you're a Harrogate fan, like I say, a few years ago when you're in National League North, if you told them you're going to finish 13th in League 2, but bit your hand off. But yeah, as per usual with Harrogate, they are one of the smaller clubs in this division, so the main aim is going to be to stay in League 2. So yeah, I think it's going to be tough for him, but I still think they're going to do it. And as for my team at Doncaster Rovers, our last result was a 1-0 home win against who was top of the table, Gillingham, and they've been replaced by us at the top of the table. So we've now won 3 league games in a row, with 2 cup games sandwiched in the middle as well. So we're going well at the minute, looking very, very good indeed. We're proving kind of our form at the end of last season. That's been, rolling into this season as well. And we're carrying it on from there. But, this is going to be a very, very tough game. I'm going to come on to previous results shortly. But let's just say for now, our record against Harrogate isn't good. Bit of a bogey team, to be honest with you. It's never an easy place to go. Like I say, it's a small ground. 4th level, but they've kind of made it their own. And it's never kind of a nice one for away fans, let's just put it that way. But yeah, this is going to be a tough test, but, with how we're playing at the minute, we've got to go in there, kind of feeling like we can fear nobody at the minute. I mean, got a bad record against Harrogate, but, them 4 games, we weren't really doing well in League 2, so, it's a different story now, so hopefully we can take that into this game. And speaking of the previous results then, so we've played Harrogate 4 times since they have come up into the EFL, and we've had no wins against them. Harrogate have actually won 3 of the 4 games, and the other one was a draw. So going back to the 22-23 season, at the Rovers. Harrogate won that by 2-0, and then in the reverse fixture at Harrogate, Rovers were 2-0 up, and then Harrogate came back and made it 2-2, and then going into last season, the 23-24 season, played Harrogate at home on the opening day and lost by 1-0, and then played them just after New Year, and we lost by 3-1. So I think that brings me nicely on to my prediction for this match then. So Rovers are going to turn the form around against Harrogate, or Harrogate going to get the home win and some much needed points. My prediction is, I think we're going to do it. I think this is where it's going to turn. I think Harrogate's a bit of a bogey team, but we weren't playing well every time we played them. I think it's going to be a different story here. We're playing well. We've got to go in there fearing nobody. Like I say, especially at home, but even the away games, we've got to go into it and kind of, try and play them off our own park. I believe we can do it. It's not going to be an easy game, but I'm going to go for a Rovers win. So I'm going to go Harrogate Town 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. Anyway, that wraps up this match preview event, so I'm going to leave the video here. So thank you very much for watching. If you're new around here, please subscribe to the channel and like this video. Whether you're an old or new viewer, any support goes a long way and it's greatly appreciated. Also, remember to follow my social media at Adam Gittings PT on pretty much everything. If you're going to a match on Thursday, enjoy. Like I say, hopefully, Rovers fans, we can bring the 3 points back to South Yorkshire. So enjoy the match if you're going. And the next video on the channel for me is going to be on the Saturday. I mentioned my trip to Middlesbrough earlier on. We have got Middlesbrough versus Preston North End as I tick off another one of the 92. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.